that humans would be made to believe that Satan and his angels do not really exist. Because up to that time, you could walk down a street of Paris and you would have signs that would say, well, you have a soothsayer or, or a fortune teller of some type, and if you want to put a curse on someone, you could go and see this other old lady over there, the old witches. That's the way it goes. But now it had to change. Lucifer says we have to make sure that people, humans, get to believe that Satan and his angels do not really exist.
How could you manage that?
Simply by using the instrument Satan himself created for that very purpose.
The second one was to find a way of being able to get total control of people's minds.
At one point in this interview, we see that his mind control programming breaks down. In covertly recorded off-air transmissions from the Bush-Clinton presidential election campaign in the 1990s, we can see that Bill Clinton was nothing more than a puppet to the puppet masters which placed him in the White House. Bill Clinton's demeanor seems to be similar to a person who is under a hypnotic trance.
Without going into a long sermon on symbols, witches and Masons identify their ownership of things to the others by their symbol.
Albert Pike issued these instructions to 23 Scottish Rite Supreme Councils throughout the world. We worship a God, but it is the God that one adores without superstition. To you, Sovereign Grand Inspectors General, we say this, that you may repeat it to the brethren of the 30th, 31st, and 32nd degrees. The Masonic religion should be the Luciferian doctrine. Lucifer is God. The true and pure philosophical religion is the belief in Lucifer. I mean, are we being ruled by politicians who consult with Baphomets and demons?
Yes, we are. a tiny little number of people at the top that are actually the only people that know how the whole game fits together. Everyone else is just playing their part in ignorance. And so what the Illuminati do is they make sure that only their people, or those that are not a problem to them, will reach those levels of power in which decisions have to be made to push this agenda forward.
Clearly, her belief in Kabbalah, the study of Jewish mysticism, has deeply affected her. Is the young woman who once so publicly rejected the Catholic faith of her childhood now Jewish? You attend Jewish services now.
Well, that's what some people think. I don't attend Jewish services.
Straighten us out.
Well, I hear the Torah, but I'm not Jewish, and nor have I converted to Judaism. I think I'm connecting to something that predates religion.
The Kabbalah is a collection of Jewish magical texts which were given to mankind via psychic communion with a fallen angel called Raziel. Raziel is one of a pantheon of so-called fallen angels who serve the light bringer, Lucifer. The Kabbalah describes the many angels and demons who inhabit the spiritual realm. The Kabbalah gives Kabbalists a roadmap called the Tree of Life, which explains how to invoke and communicate with these powerful spirits. The magical information in the Kabbalah originates from Babylon and ancient Egypt at the time of the pharaohs, but did not reach Europe in printed form until the 11th and 12th centuries. The sacred books of the Kabbalah are just a few thousand words long, but they contain complex descriptions of a spherical Earth, parallel universes, and the atomic nature of matter, ideas which have become common doctrine amongst modern physicists and astronomers. How could such complex information be contained in a group of ancient texts barely larger than an average magazine?
What are some of the things that scriptures talk about that we find in reality in our physical world? Here's just a couple of them. How about the fact that the earth is round, Isaiah 40, verse 22, and Proverbs 8:27? Too bad in the Middle Ages that wasn't examined. It was there all the time. How about the fact the number of stars cannot be counted? And they can't. How about the hydrologic cycle? Ecclesiastes 1:7, Job 36, verses 27 and 28. There's the law of increasing entropy, that things go from order to disorder. They lose their energy, Psalm 102, verses 25 through 27. Isaiah 51:6, Genesis 3:17, and Romans 8:21 and 22. We'll go on, because there's more. There's atmospheric circulation. Ecclesiastes 1, verses 6 and 7, Job 28:25, and 37:9. The fact that life is in the blood. You realize George Washington could have lived longer if they had recognized this? They bled him to death, as they bled a lot of people to death, because they were following the ideas of the ancient Greeks instead of what Leviticus 17:11 tells us directly. Gravitational field described in Job 26, verse 7. He hangs the earth on nothing. Springs in the oceans, Job 38:16, Genesis 7:11, 8:2, and Proverbs 8:28.